Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
You mentioned carrying out grievances against political enemies, and you, as we all know, served as an impeachment manager for Trump's second impeachment. Trump's made many statements alluding to what he has called retribution. Let's listen.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that.
It does.
And sometimes revenge can be justified, but I have to be honest, sometimes it can.
Are you personally worried about political retribution from the former president, now soon to be the president again?
Yeah, I'm not. I expect that it'll likely come, and I'll protect my family and my staff, as any of us are who are threatened by the former president. But look, I'm all in, and I'm worried about the young woman right now in a state with a 6-week abortion ban who doesn't know what she's going to do to protect her body. I'm worried about the students who are going to go to class tomorrow and live in a mass shooter culture because they don't have a president who wants to address that issue. I'm worried about the Ukrainian people on the front lines right now who just saw America walk away from them. So if they can, get up every day and find a way to move forward, I can. That doesn't mean that, right now we shouldn't grieve and be upset, but we have to have a to-do list of what we're going to do to protect this country and not let Donald Trump turn the lights out on democracy.
Thank you, Alpha Liberal, Eric Swalwell. We've still got a lot of great warriors in the fight. Thank you to everybody who sent love and support on the Twitters and the threads. Chloe said having a day to grieve about what happened in this election. I'll be turning off the news, but Stephanie Miller will always. I'm not going to quit. I've got no place else to go. Okay.
I ain't gonna quit. I got nowhere else to go.
Including Twitter. Timothy tweets, all of you Harris supporters who are wondering why you lost so many followers, many of those were Russian trolls and bots. They are now off pretending to be MAGA to induce Trump supporters to hate Ukraine. I'm not ceding any ground. They can suck my... Okay.
Oh, goodness.
And you know what? And I was saying there's these maggot asshats that obviously are trying to call into the show, and they're like, oh, I love this. Someone asked me on Twitter, oh, can you keep this up for 4 years? This is great. They're tuning in just to see our pain.
Yeah.
Just to see us cry. And seriously, choke on them. You know what? We wear our empathy in our heart proudly as a badge of honor. And so it's please, with Trump going, oh, we're going to unite now, and J.D. Vance saying, be kind, after they ran the nastiest, meanest campaign in history. And now, really? You start first. Really? People are getting, black people in state after state are getting text messages talking about, turn up to pick cotton at X hour. Oh, my God. I mean, my heart just literally hurt when I read these text messages, because they're emboldened and they think it's okay now and it's funny and they can be just as racist and horrible and mean as they, and so that's why there's obviously a lot to talk about, but I get annoyed with just the economic argument, because really, black people are getting told to show up to pick cotton, and the racism was not a part of this. Absolutely, it was a part of it. And I think you and I, we should be, full disclosure, we got in a fight before the show. I love you. I know it is important to, obviously be kind and lift each other up. I was half kidding. I said, I'm going to get in a fight with you. I didn't, but I guess, we had a discussion after the show, and I think you're right. I've obviously agreed with you about a lot of things, that clearly this was a lot of, first of all, I have to say, though, the number one thing in exit polling for them was democracy, was not the economy. Yeah. So what do you make of that? Because, again, I would say the biggest thing is this wall of lies that Trump was able to win on. You can't say it's anything other than lies. He was able to and silly us, we thought we could win on facts. But I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Huh?
You thought we could win on facts.
Right, but what I'm saying is, he convinced them that we're the ones trying to destroy democracy. I mean, that was their number one issue. Yeah. So it's what I was saying is it's this disinformation ecosystem.
Their entire right-wing information system was spewing that out like a fire hose.
Right.
And, when people block right-wingers or don't watch right-wing TV or whatever, they have no idea that all of this is going on, and people are constantly surprised by this. I'm kind of tuned into right-wing media,
Oh,
I'm
watch.
not surprised by this.
I watch, and I got a letter. Oh my God, by the way, I'll try to get to all your letters and tweets, and I know a lot of people are too shy to call, and I think people want to know how we're all feeling, and so there's a lot of great emails, tweets, threads. We'll get to as many calls as we can, because I know people have a lot of thoughts and feelings, and we have to have this national conversation. We took what did Barack Obama call it? A shellacking, man. There's no other way to say it. We took a shellacking.
Yeah.
And so, your points are not incorrect, Chris. I think it's
a whole lot of stuff.
You said yesterday, Democrats have to stop talking down to people. And my point was, I don't think Kamala Harris talked down to people. She was the only one that had actual plans. Here's what I'm going to do about corporate price gouging. I know prices are too high. I get what you're saying about us saying, no, everything's great. Because I get it. By the economic numbers, by the facts, we're right. By the jobless numbers, the stock market inflation rate is way down. I get, but you're saying...
But when liberals say to people, no, it's not, you're not really feeling economic pain.
I get it, but Kamala Harris didn't do that. Kamala Harris didn't do that. She said over and over, prices are too high. Here's what I'm going to do. Corporate greed, corporate price. Here's how I'm going to help you buy a house. Here's how I'm going to help you keep your mom in her home with Medicaid. You know what I'm saying, Chris, is that Trump, meanwhile, my point is that everything he said was a lie. It's like, I get it, economic anxiety, but what he was telling them is illegals are getting all your stuff. All the FEMA relief is going to illegals. All the, it's going to transgender surgery on illegals in prison. Stuff that are just complete lies.
But when that sort of thing resonates with even the Latino community, we have a problem.
We have a problem. We have a huge disinformation problem. I mean, it's because that's what I'm saying. Those of us in the fact-based community go, well, who would believe this ridiculous stuff that they're doing? You're sending your kid to school, a boy, and he's coming back a girl without your permission. Like, who would believe that? They do, Chris. I'm sorry. My point, real quick. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. A listener, to your point, wrote and said, I understand how this happened. I live somewhere where Fox News is on all the time.
Yeah.
And they echo all these lies.
Yeah.
But
there's always the LGBT scapegoat in every election.
Always.
Before it was gay marriage,
Oh my God.
And now it's trans people. So there's always the LGBT scapegoat. I'm used to that.
Remember the 2004 with the two grooms on the cake that they ran against John Kerry?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's always...
There's always an LGBT scapegoat.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm not surprised by that. It always happens.
Yeah. Anyway, I heard a data analyst that I thought it actually was really interesting, that he just said historically, when you go through all the numbers in all the elections, he said it has to do with the approval rating of the current president, period. And Biden's at 40%. And they were saying, he went through Carter, whoever, no one's ever won at that number. So he was even saying Kamala Harris got 48%. She did an extraordinary thing, actually.
She did great.
But
it wasn't enough.
Right, but what I'm saying is it goes to the point that Biden probably wouldn't have won either in terms of us going, we shouldn't have pushed him out and he shouldn't.
Right.
And I agreed with a lot of that.
That is useless talk. That is absolutely useless.
And
talk.
also the media, just did such a horrible job on the ageism, and the both sides do it, that I think, even before the debate, that bad debate that Biden had. Anyway, but you're right. If it's just about prices in the economy, it wouldn't matter if it was Biden or Harris or whoever. Millions of people are buying the lies this guy puts out that is echoed by the way, Russian-funded right-wing broscape. You know what I mean? There's that and Fox News, and it's...
But I also think that legacy media, that I've heard this mentioned yesterday, legacy media needs to realize that it's not as important as it used to be.
Yeah.
And, all of the media has shattered into a million different pieces.
Yeah.
And candidates need to service every single one of those million little pieces somehow, some way.
I think, Chris, the thing is, a lot of us would feel better if we lost on an honest debate on the issues. And people just disagreed with us, but they voted on a complete pack of ridiculous lies. And I think that's what's...
But something led these people to believe those lies.
Yeah.
And we need to find out what it was that allowed people to believe these lies.
By the way, the find out part of the go around and find out plan has already started. Did you see the one company is already telling its employees no Christmas bonuses because they got to, because of the tariffs?
Yeah.
They're afraid they're going to happen. They got to buy all their material now.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, it's just, yay. Okay.
Did you see the interesting factoid that Rocky Mountain Mike sent overnight?
Which one?
Trump has an idea for whoever his chief of staff is going to be. It's going to be the woman who led his campaign.
Susie Wiles, yeah.
Yes, it's Pat Summerall's daughter.
Yes. Would you like another fun fact?
Sure.
She was one of the key witnesses in the classified documents case.
Yeah.
How many hours do I have with Glenn coming up?
He's coming up in 15 minutes.
Oh, God. Justice is no longer circling our nipples.
Yeah.